In today's video, we will discuss a bold, strategic move that the Philippines cannot afford to delay. Establishing a Philippine Maritime Militia. With the situation between the Philippines and China at an all-time low, it is time for our leaders to make some tough but necessary decisions. One of them is finally giving the green light to the establishment of our own maritime militia. We have been too cautious for too long, always trying to keep a low profile, especially when it comes to China. But the reality is, their aggressive actions in the West Philippine Sea leave us no choice. If China can arm its fishing fleet and shadow our fishermen with Coast Guard vessels and maritime militia, then it is time we do the same. A few years ago, Filipino fishermen, especially from northern and western Luzon, had expressed their willingness to volunteer for such a force. They were ready to defend what is ours, to protect our livelihoods, our waters, and our sovereignty. All they asked was for the government to take the first step in building the vessels locally. Vietnam did it right. In 2021, they launched their own maritime militia, equipping volunteer fishermen with hollow steel boats, sensors, radios, and training. In less than 5 years, they have built a formidable force of over 100 militia vessels. That is the determination we need. But how do we actually launch such a program in the Philippine context? First, the government could create a formal registry of interested fishermen from high-risk coastal provinces. This would ensure that volunteers are properly vetted and screened. These fishermen would then undergo basic training not only in seamanship, but also in maritime awareness, radio communications, and reporting protocols. Second, the vessels themselves should be standardized to a modular design that allows for cost-effective mass production. This design could be developed in partnership with the Philippine Navy and local maritime engineers to ensure that the vessels are seaworthy, efficient, and versatile for both fishing and patrol purposes. Third, the government could explore multi-agency collaboration to fund and manage the program. Agencies such as the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, BFAR, Department of National Defense, DND, and even the Department of Trade and Industry, DTI, can pull in resources to make it happen. This ensures that the program is not just a defense initiative, but also a livelihood and economic development strategy. And fourth, our partners and allies can play a supportive role without being intrusive. The United States, Japan, Australia, and even the European Union have consistently supported the Philippines in maritime security. These countries can offer grants, training support, or even donate navigation and communication equipment to revitalize our militia fleet. With a whole-of-nation approach like this, building a Philippine maritime militia is not only feasible, but also smart, sustainable, and patriotic. But here's the good news. We already have the capacity to build these kinds of ships locally. There is no need to look abroad or rely on foreign suppliers at this time. Shipyards such as the Josefa Slipway in Pangasan and the Herma Shipyard in Bataan, PICMW in Sabubi, and even PropMat Corporation in Batangas have the experience and facilities to produce steel vessels suitable for fishing and patrol duties. These shipyards are equally involved in delivering platforms to the Philippine Coast Guard Navy, ranging from multi-role response vessels to patrol boats and amphibious landing craft. Some of them even work with international partners and adhere to naval-grade construction standards. If they can build ships for national defense, then building a fleet of fishing vessels capable of accommodating militia is just around the corner. And imagine the multiplier effect it will have on the local economy. By building these vessels locally, we are not only arming our civil defenders, we are also creating jobs for skilled Filipino workers, welders, engineers, technicians, naval architects, and supply chain professionals. This is local empowerment at every level. It is also in line with the Philippine Self-Reliant Defense Posture Strategy, SRDP, that calls for maximizing local industrial capabilities for defense and security needs. A government-backed maritime militia program could be the biggest peacetime investment in our maritime sovereignty and local shipbuilding industry. Each steel-hulled fishing militia vessel could be equipped with critical features such as satellite radio, radar, thermal imaging, cameras, and GPS navigation, allowing them to coordinate with the Philippine Navy and Coast Guard. Some vessels could even be designated for ISR intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance, helping to monitor illegal fishing and Chinese encroachment. Of course, security and legitimacy must be maintained. These militia vessels would remain under strict operational protocols set by the Philippine Forces, or the National Task Force for the West Philippine Sea. The government could integrate them into the existing Bante Dago framework, but with real law enforcement powers and better tools to carry out the task. Vietnam's success lies not only in the number of vessels, it also lies in how the government is committed to protecting its sovereignty by engaging the people. The Philippines should adopt the same approach. We already have the volunteers, we already have the shipyards, we already have the needs. What we are waiting for now is the political will. This program does not have to start with hundreds of ships. Even a modest first wave of, say, 20 to 30 locally built ships deployed in strategic areas such as Pangosin, Zambales, Palawan, and Isacas would send a strong message to allies and adversaries alike. The Philippines is ready to defend its own country. By combining civic courage, local manufacturing, and government leadership, the Philippine Maritime Militia can become one of the most cost-effective and symbolically powerful tools in our maritime defense strategy.